Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon.
There's a new sheriff in town. The Department of Justice recently launched a new task force that will enforce strict sanctions against Russia and anyone else involved in the effort to line their pockets, crypto exchanges included. The name of this task force is Cryptocurrencies. The goal is to target any and every financial service provider that's helping the Russian oligarchs launder money and evade economic sanctions. The DOJ describes Cryptocurrencies as an interagency law enforcement task force dedicated to enforcing the sweeping sanctions, export restrictions, and economic countermeasures that the United States has imposed.
Give us your kind of general sense of Bitcoin and how you're thinking about it today.
Well, first of all, in American politics, Abraham Lincoln said public sentiment is everything. And here's the reality. There are over 40 million people now who own Bitcoin or crypto, Bitcoin obviously being the biggest one. And so it's something that politicians can't ignore. I mean, there are young staffers in everyone's district who have wallets, who are on the exchanges or who have non-custodial wallets. And this is something that even if they don't know it, their staff is saying, hey, this is happening. It's happening in everyone's district. So I think it's there. The opinion is changing from a concern and a reflexive opposition to now something more akin to, okay, this is happening. We have to learn about it. There's nothing to be afraid of. This is a good thing. This means that we are democratizing access to finance. This means more people are getting to participate in creation of value, and that we should be for blockchain and we should be for Bitcoin.
Now let's get into the news for today. European Parliament votes against proof of work ban 32 to 23. So this was the provision in the bill that essentially would have made it illegal for centralized exchanges in the European Union to list environmentally unfriendly cryptocurrencies, which, you know, the only one they're talking about is Bitcoin, because everything else is on proof of stake. Ethereum uses the amount of energy of a small country, but they're moving over to proof of stake, and then they're going to use the equivalent of like a city of like 10,000 people or something like that. Very, very small amount of energy after Ethereum switches to proof of stake. Thankfully, though, we saw this voted against. The provisions of what it was to be environmentally unsustainable was super, super vague anyway, so I'm glad to see that we have the European Parliament supporting proof of work and not looking to ban it. Good job, guys. Good job.
Elon Musk took to Twitter to confirm that his belief in cryptocurrency is not wavering. Elon Musk started the conversation off by tweeting the question to his 77.8 million followers, "What are your thoughts about probable inflation rate over next few years?" To which 34,000 responses poured in. One of the responses came from Bitcoin bull himself, Michael Saylor. Saylor tweeted, "US dollar consumer inflation will continue near all-time highs, and asset inflation will run at double the rate of consumer inflation. Weaker currencies will collapse, and the flight of capital from cash, debt, and value stocks to scarce property like Bitcoin will intensify." Elon's response to Saylor confirmed that he has diamond hands and offered general advice for people in the thread. Elon continued, "As a general principle, for those looking for advice from this thread, it is generally better to own physical things like a home or stock in companies you think make good products than dollars when inflation is high. I still own and won't sell my Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Doge for what it's worth."
As for the development and adoption in the space, while the Bitcoin price remains relatively stable, even though we're seeing that short-term pump, Coinbase is expanding. So biggest exchange in the world outlines the path ahead for its planned derivatives offerings. So it's looking to expand with crypto derivatives, stock derivatives, whatever they are looking to do. They want to bring on derivatives into the business, of course, to make more fees from their clients. That's part of the business model, to make money.
Mark Zuckerberg is finally doing something that I like. He has just announced that Instagram wants to integrate NFTs. I want it so I can put my NFTs right there, bro, and somebody can come on and click my shit, see all the event tickets that I've got in NFT form, you know, see all my blue chip NFTs, my 100 Bored Apes that I have.
We have Microsoft investing into crypto in a major way. Now, Consensus is what they're investing in. And just a quick background, Consensus is the team behind MetaMask. So use MetaMask. This is by Consensus. It's a sleeping giant in the industry. There's a long list of investors you would not expect to see or even want to see. And they just did a $450 million raise, putting their value at $7 billion. So Consensus value is now $7 billion. Just in November, it was 3.2. So just in those about 5 months, it's more than doubled. So we're seeing a huge growth there. And MetaMask are saying they have about 30 million active monthly users using it. We have Microsoft investing into crypto in a major way. Now, Consensus is what they're investing in. And just a quick background, Consensus is the team behind MetaMask. So use MetaMask. This is by Consensus. It's a sleeping giant in the industry. There's a long list of investors you would not expect to see or even want to see. And they just did a $450 million raise, putting their value at $7 billion. So Consensus value is now $7 billion. Just in November, it was 3.2. So just in those about 5 months, it's more than doubled. So we're seeing a huge growth there. And MetaMask are saying they have about 30 million active monthly users using it.
If you thought a work of art was limited to just paintings and sculptures, think again.
Yeah, NFTs. They're a way of owning original or exclusive digital art. And it is a booming business, we're told, taking the world by storm. People are cashing in as well.
Qantas will be Europe's first NFT advisory gallery. And one of the founders has personal experience of the money which can be made on NFTs.
So we're seeing more and more sort of brands and corporations enter the scene with large backings, and galleries who are, instead of an individual artist now going into the NFT space and making some money from it, it's harder for them to do that, so they're seeking out galleries to get represented.
The idea of buying something which isn't a real object may be off-putting to some, but others find NFTs an exciting way of owning a small piece of our digital world.